Hey guys, so today I'm gonna be showing you how to make a super long Beyblade X string launcher. So you need a couple of things for this. You need either Kevlar string for kites, which can be found on Amazon, or you can use fishing wire, but don't trust me on that because I've never actually tried that yet. So the other two things you need a little flathead screwdriver and a small Phillips head screwdriver. And I'm gonna be showing you guys how to do this with my already modded right spin string launcher, even though it's in the left spin case, but that's just to be like kind of funny. You can do it with any string launcher for Beyblade X. I just chose to do this one because I think I like the colors more. So first what you gotta do is you have to unscrew all of the screws on the back, and then sometimes they don't come out smoothly, but you get them all into one place. I'm using this paper plate just to contain all the materials. And then what you do is you take the cap off. Now the next part is important because in the right spin launcher they don't have this black cap. In the right spin launcher you don't have to put this on. This is an extra step, but what you need to do is you need to take all these parts out, keep them all in the same place, and I'm not gonna do what's important. I'm not gonna replace the string on this. I'm just gonna show you what it's like, what you need to do to, after you cut your string to whatever length you want, be it 3 feet or 4 feet or something. I don't recommend going over 4 feet because the spring mechanism gets jammed if you do more than 4 feet. If you either pull super hard or don't pull all the way. So I'd recommend keeping it between 3 or 4 feet for the string. But then you have this, which is the actual spring that when you pull the string, it returns the string back into the launcher. It's not very hard to do this. All you gotta do is unscrew these things again. What I like to do is I like to keep them all in this tray so that when I put it back on, it doesn't go all over the place, so they're just sitting there. So this is the actual string. When you take the old string out, there's gonna be some of these little metal gold pieces. This is for durability. It makes sure that the launcher doesn't like rip the string easier or burn through the plastic, which can break the string launcher. So if you use a fake Beyblade launcher, they don't have these. They're made of plastic, but the actual ones made by Hasbro and Takara Tomy, they have these. But once you have the spring mechanism, there's two pieces. Like I said, there's the cap and there's this thing. You don't need to mess with this unless the spring breaks. So I'm not going to show you that, but if you'd like, I can show you how to put the spring back in if it does slip out, because it does happen sometimes. So what you have to do with your new string is you have to make a knot at one end and slide all the metal pieces back onto the end of the knot you just made, so they're all sitting there. And the other end, what I did was I took an old like Metal Fight ripcord launcher and I and I like threaded the string through it. It made some knots, and then I put some masking tape over it so that when it comes back, it doesn't hit my hand as hard as it would, because it comes back pretty fast. But once you have that, what you need to do is you need to put the string into this thing, like in the right grooves as it was before with the old string. And then you need to align the cap with the exact maneuver, exact like position as it was before, so it fits in flush. And then you can screw these back in. And now you have your new string attached to this, which is pretty much the hardest part of this project. And so what you want to do once you have this is there's a little arrow. Because this is actually a right spin launcher, you want to wind the string up by turning clockwise. And then you need to get all the way in, otherwise it won't actually retract properly. So I'm almost at the end. So the other thing you need to do is there's another golden like piece of metal. I don't know if you guys can see it right there. The way to get that out is you need to take this piece out and take the prong off, which is not hard. You just pull the prongs off of this thing. You just pull the prongs off by taking this out, and then pulling the prongs off, which is not very hard. And then this piece should come out very smoothly. And then once you do that, you unscrew these and you put the metal piece back where it's like indentation is in the plastic, and then you put the cap back on, and then you put this back on, and then you put the little white piece underneath the hooks, and then you put the hooks on. And then what you can do is you can put this holder back in. All right, but anyways, like I was saying, once you have this spring mechanism fully wound up, or almost fully wound up, what you do is you put this metal piece in the indentation place, and then you turn this thing only one time. If it's especially long, only one time. If it's like 3 feet, then you can do it maybe 2 times, but I would not recommend doing more than one time if you're doing a super long string, because you could break the mechanism. And then the next part is you put that little thing back in. Wait, let me show you this. So this top end goes in at the top. This goes in the bottom. So put that back in there. Put this back here. Put this on top, because it's technically a left spin cover. And then you can put the cap back on. So, and then what you do is you can put the screws back in. should work. Let me just test if it works. Yep, works. Alright, so now let me bring you guys to the testing site, or as we like to call it on this channel, the stadium. So let me just set this up. Also sorry for the kind of poor camera angle. I don't have a stand yet. But I'm gonna do it as good as I can. Okay, there we go. Alright, so let me get some beyblades to test it out with. So, you just drum buster. Or as we like to call him, Bumble. And the other one we're going to test it out with should be Silver Wolf. Or as we like to call him, Sterling. Do another round. Oh, that was a good hit. Let's do a couple more. Alright, silver wolf, but after that I'm gonna try another one because it's not very entertaining with battles. Let's change it to this snake, I think Vapor Tail is the name. Okay, well, the string snapped, so I'm gonna need to fix that. I'll do that off camera, but I hope you guys have a great day, and thank you for watching. Bye bye.